Hi everyone, I'm Alex Heath, Strategic Advisor for ValOre Metals Corp. ValOre has just announced board approval of the 2020 exploration program for the Pedro Branca PGE project in Brazil, as well as a $1.2 million financing to fully fund the first phase of exploration and drilling. The program consists of two fully permitted phases with 2,875 meters in phase 1 and 3,035 meters in phase 2. Phase 1 is set to begin in June, targeting 7 areas with 23 drill holes. Phase 2 targeting 4 areas with 24 drill holes. I'm now joined by ValOre geologist Colin Smith, head of new project review, who will provide more details of the Pedro Branca drill program for 2020.
Thanks, Alex, and hello again, everyone. Yes, we're excited to share with you today the proposed 2020 drill program at Pedro Branca. Specifically, we're going to be looking to test 3 distinct styles of targets. The first of which is resource expansion. So in these holes, we're going to be looking to step out from known resources and add ounces to our 2019 inferred resource. The second style of target is what we're calling target advancement. Now, these are targets which have been drilled previously by previous operators, however, were never followed up upon. So we're going to be looking to add some holes to these pre-resource zones. And we're excited about a lot of those targets. We'll share with you some details of those in a bit here. The third style of target is new discovery. So these are undrilled targets which we have developed within the technical team of ValOre. And again, these are very exciting targets, no drill holes, no resource, obviously, and some of them are very scalable. So again, we'll share with you some further details in the coming minutes here. To elaborate on this, I will share my screen and just take you through a few maps and some of the 3D models we've developed. Okay, so here's the general program specifications for phase 1 and phase 2. These phases are both fully permitted, and in terms of timeline, we'll be looking to mobilize drill rigs safely into site probably in early June. So that's the approximate timeline. The map which you see on the right is a zoom in of most of the project area. As you see, the red stars here are indicating the locations of the 5 43-101 deposit areas, Santo Amaro being the far north, the 3 sort of central deposits in Cedro, Esbajo, and Curiú, and then Trapia being the southernmost deposit here. Phase 1 drill holes are in yellow dots, and phase 2 are denoted in light blue dots. And as you can see, the global resource estimate is indicated here, and each of the deposits has their own resource, of course, in inferred category, 43-101 from August of last year. Now let's just take the opportunity to go through a few of the exciting targets that we'll be drilling in both phase 1 and phase 2. And we'll start with Trapia 1, which, as you can see here, is the southernmost of the 5 43-101 deposit areas. Okay, so let's start with Trapia 1 here, as mentioned before. Trapia 1 is going to be looking to target both resource expansion and new discovery type targets. So there's a 43-101 resource of Trapia, which includes both this target area, which is Trapia 1. There's an additional deposit area immediately to the west of Trapia 1 called Trapia West. And then there's a third deposit area about 1 kilometer to the north of Trapia West called Trapia 2. Let's focus just on Trapia 1 for now. The resource expansion potential is quite compelling in this area. As you can see on the left-hand image here, this is a 2D projection of the 3D resource solid. And in terms of the historical drilling, all of these drill holes intercepted really nice grades, thick intervals of chromatite with PGE mineralization, and it's fully open along strike to the south, and it's fully open at depth to the east. So we're going to be looking to target some of the mag bodies that are rooted within the resource of Trapia 1. And as you can see in the middle panel there, that's a zoom in of one of these 3D mag isoshells. It's a version model we had done towards the end of last year. And some of the better holes in the Trapia resource area are rooted in this mag isoshell. And through the process of 3D inversion modeling, this large keel-like body that extends over 3/4 of a kilometer to the south-southeast, again rooted in resource and undrilled. As I said before, all of these holes that are located on the southern portion of the resource hit. And so we're going to be not only stepping out along the direct strike of those, but also testing into the core of this mag isoshell, which, you know, on a deposit basis, a target to target basis, has proven to be very prospective for high grade PGE mineralization close to surface. This thing is basically daylighting. So these are really compelling near surface potential ounces there. Additional to that, there's a series of historical drill holes at Pedra Branca for which there is no remaining drill core left. There was apparently a motor vehicle accident a number of decades ago. All that core is no longer available. And so all of these drill holes were left out of the resource. One of those in particular is the BR18 hole, which you see a zoom in here on the left side map. This is one of the more, you know, shallow, high grade type holes, compelling holes that you see in the project area. You're getting, you know, well over resource grade. We're talking over 4 grams per ton, close to surface for over 10 meters, and you're getting decent grade down to 70 meters. This hole was not included in the 43101 resource, again, because there's no core. You couldn't verify the assays. So this is a drill hole that we're going to look to re-drill. Again, we don't have the core, but we do have the data, and the data suggests that this is a compelling target. So what that will allow us to do is basically pull that resource up to surface. Again, this intercept comes essentially from surface and extends down to close to 70 meters depth. So that's a hole we're going to look to test right out of the gates. To show you a little bit more detail, what I'll do here is just briefly take you through the 3D inversion model. So, you know, I'll key your eye in on this isoshell here, which is something we're going to look to test. And you can see that in the 3D inversion model here. Okay, so this is a view of the 3D mag isoshell model, which we had developed. What you're seeing here in blue, so these are the 3D 43101 resource solids. What you're looking at here is Trapia 1. As mentioned before, just to the immediate west of Trapia 1, you have the Trapia West deposit, and off screen to the north is where Trapia 2 is located. So again, what you're seeing here in the red and salmon colored blobs essentially are the 3D mag isoshell bodies. So they're basically modeling similar magnetic properties within the rocks and subsurface. Up top here, you're seeing high-grade rock samples. The blue lines and dots, those are trench samples which are running. This is well out of the resource area. This is an area we're going to be looking to test in the future, but we'll be doing some more sort of reconnaissance mapping and sampling prior to that. So let's zoom into the resource area and show you why we're so excited about Trapia 1. And I'll swing it around so we're looking down the plane. So these are all historical drill holes here. And these are all historical drill holes that hit. This is planned. The BR18 hole is located right here. And as you can see, the resource is clipped around that hole. So in the re-drilling and verification of that drill hole and those assays, we're going to be looking to extend the resource to surface and probably extend it along strike a little as well. Now, in terms of the strike potential, as I was mentioning before, we have this large isoshell body that is rooted in the resource. And again, that's rooted in BR18, for example. It's rooted in a couple of other Anglo holes, which are among the best of the Trapia area. And if I zoom further out here, you can see the scale of this thing. It's actually clipped by the model itself. So in terms of length here, we're looking at 3/4 of a kilometer in strike length and likely more in the 2D RTP mag image and raster that we have from reprocessing the ground mag down here. This mag body actually extends a ways past the constraints of this model. So we're excited to test that down the line. Obviously, the first holes we're going to be looking are the ones that are stepping immediately out along strike and piercing into this 3D mag isoshell. Pending favorable results on that first fence of holes, we're going to be looking to step further down the strike of this. And, you know, as you can see, just based on the size scale of the resource solid here, the 43101 resource solid, if we have good results in some of these holes, we're going to look to grow that number significantly. So we're very excited about Trapia 1. This is a facet that we see as far north as Santo Amaro as well, these kind of 3D mag isoshells that are scalable in size, rooted in some of the better holes in the project area. and just fully untested. You know, if you want to zoom further out to the trapea area, you have additional bodies up here that have really no testing whatsoever done on them. They're very early stage. There's very little mapping, very little geochemistry done. These are bodies we're going to look to test at some point, but for now we're going to focus on the areas that have proven drilling, proving resource, and you know, very high prospectivity for expansion. So I'll just jump back to my slide deck here, and we will briefly look at one of the new discovery type targets in phase 1. So the C11 target, now similar to the CO4 target, similar to the Mentes North target area, which we're doing geochemical sampling on as we speak, this is a target which is a combination of worldview spectral data and reprocessed geophysics, MAG specifically. So what we found at CO4 is that the combination of RTP MAG and worldview spectral data was very effective at finding PGEs. We went to the field with just those two data sets, again, a MAG high, a worldview spectral data anomaly coinciding together, and we ended up sampling up to 8 grams per ton PGE plus gold. So we're applying the same targeting methodology at C11. This is a target which is literally across the road from the Cedro resource area. Cedro's a little over 200,000 ounces. And again, we're literally across the road here, a few hundred meters. There's road access basically directly to this target. And we're going to be looking to punch a hole right through the high MAG isoshell body, which you can see in this sort of darker red colored kidney bean, if you will. But there's a very large rooted MAG system here that's never been drilled. It's got very little additional data, and just based on its proximity to a known resource and its similarity in worldview spectral data, the true color raw imagery looks very compelling. We're going to test this initially with one hole and look to add meters and holes to that pending favorable results. So just a little snapshot into some of the phase 1 targets. What I'll do briefly now is talk about a target that I've always been really excited about, and that's Santo Amaro. Santo Amaro is a phase 2 target. It's the northernmost of the 5 43-101 deposit areas, and you know, it's got all 3 target types. Again, it's got really some of the best holes in the whole project, and let me just take you through a couple slides here on Santo Amaro. Okay, so the Santo Amaro target. Now this has an existing 43-101 resource of 203,000 ounces at 1.19 grams, equating to 5.3 million tons. So very comparable to Trapea, combined Trapea 1, 2, and West resource. It's a target I've always been very excited about. It's got massive intercepts, you know, 150 plus meters of pretty high grade from surface. Resource comes right to surface, and it's fully open along strike to both the east and the west. So that's what you're seeing here. On the left-hand map, that's just a plan view, 2D projection of the 3D resource solid. Historical holes are here in white and black dots, and these are our proposed holes. So again, we're stepping out along strike to the west and to the east, and we're gonna test that extension. Obviously, at Santo Amaro, there's really excellent superficial anomalism, both in the MAG and also the geochem. So you're seeing strong soil anomalies heading way outside the resource here towards a historical drill hole that did actually hit. As you see there, DD02SA04 drilled by Anglo, 1.4 grams per ton, 2 PGE plus gold over 12.2 meters from 40 meters depth, so close to surface as well. We're going to test that extension and potential continuity with the existing resource. So again, in the middle panel here, what you're looking at is the 3D MAG isoshell model. The higher MAG sus material being in hotter colors, obviously PGM grades and downhole intercepts is listed up top there. And you're seeing also the soil samples going east-west here. You're seeing rock samples with squares, and the openness really in the resource. It's wide open along strike. As you see, the resource here is in section 5 on this green surface line is this section line here. They are, you know, they're wide open. The intercepts are not constrained to the east or west, and again, you have that nice intercept up to the northwest that's sitting in the MAG high isoshell, that's sitting in the soil geochem anomaly. So all signs point to more resource being hit up there. We're going to step along strike, but we're also going to look to step up and test this high meg iso shell that really hasn't been drilled. It's had one hole. It hit about 60 meters of ultramafics and a smattering of grade, but pretty low grade all considered. But it's relatively untested. It's a big body. It's a high meg sus body. And so we're going to like to throw a few holes in it, maybe on a fan arrangement to test different strikes and structures within that system. And what I'll do briefly now is show you the 3D model of Santo Amaro, basically the middle panel, what you're seeing there, but in real form. Okay, so this is the model you were just seeing. Again, the resource solid is in blue. The historical drilling is sitting within the resource, as well as that one hole that intercepted to the northwest here. Soil lines are east-west, rocks are squares, and you're also seeing blue trench lines and anomalous samples. So there's good trench numbers sitting well outside the resource in the direction of this historical hit. So we're going to look to test that for sure. We're going to also be doing a more in-depth review of the drill targeting methodology in the coming couple weeks. So stay tuned to this space for more updates. And if you want a deeper dive, then we look forward to getting into it. Back to you, Alex.
Great. Thanks, Colin. As always, excellent summary. If anyone has any questions about Pedra Branca or wants to learn more about the company, visit our website at valoremetals.com or send us an email at contact@valoremetals.com. Thanks for watching and see you next time.